Hey, y'all. This is Gary Humble. I'm running for state senate in District 27 to represent Williamson County as your next state senator. Listen, as I'm recording this, we are 9 days, I think, before Election Day on August 4th. Early voting ends July 30th, this Saturday. And this video is important because the desperation of the Jack Johnson campaign is palpable. We know that our campaign right now has an incredible amount of momentum, as evidenced through chatter online, as evidenced through our phone calls that we're making, as evidenced through texts that we're receiving, and as evidenced through doors that we are knocking. There is an incredible amount of momentum and has been for weeks now, especially during early voting and leading into the general election on August 4th. And look, we're really excited about it. But in desperation, because what else do you do, right, but launch fraudulent attacks on your opponent whenever you're backed into a corner and there's nowhere else to go? Well, you cash in all your chips, because you've already gotten the endorsement of the governor and the endorsements of our U.S. senators and our congressmen and everyone else. So you've thrown everything else at the wall. And so now you try to smear and attack your opponent because nothing else is working. All of your money is not working. All of the PACs that are attacking and sending out mailers is not working. Even the lieutenant governor with his $1 million PAC can't seem to save you. So what do? You call in a favor to your friend in the media, Michael Patrick Leahy, and you have an article run in the Tennessee Star, and you find a couple of constituents in your district to file bogus complaints, ethics complaints against your opponent, and then you just make a story out of it and you pretend that it actually has merit. And why would the Tennessee Star run something like this? If you've not noticed, many of you probably don't read the Tennessee Star. I bet a lot of you watching this video have never even heard of the Tennessee Star. And the only reason you're going to go to the TennesseeStar.com today is because you're hearing about it on this video. But if you look at the website, all you'll see as of late is smear campaigns, absolute smear tactics and tomfoolery on this website, clickbait in an attempt to be relevant. And so here's this article that I have illegally failed to register as a lobbyist. Also some campaign finance violations, clearly from my mailer that I sent out. And look, here's the thing. I don't want this video to be too long. So you can go to hey, I'm giving them clicks. I'm giving them what they want. You can go to TennesseeStar.com, and it's one of the headliners today, and you can read this article, and at the bottom you can see my responses. So I won't go into all of that. But I do want to make one point in terms of lobbying because it's important for you to understand. The complaint is that I should be a registered lobbyist and that I'm illegally lobbying and that I've not asked the government permission to lobby by being a registered lobbyist and paying the $300 or $400 a year or whatever it is for the permission, for the privilege, for the honor of asking our state legislature to protect our individual liberties. The problem is that the Johnson campaign and or this poor soul who filed the complaint does not understand the distinct difference between direct lobbying and grassroots lobbying. I continue to tell you here on camera, I have no problem telling you this, I am not a paid lobbyist. I do not get paid to lobby. I do not lobby on behalf of special interest. I don't have a corporation that is paying me to lobby for their benefit. I grassroots lobby and I ask state representatives, like many of you have, to protect our individual liberties. I have approached legislators and asked them to run bills. I have sent emails and made phone calls asking them to support certain efforts. And as you can see here, in terms of our efforts with Tennessee Stands, we are a grassroots lobbying organization. In fact, this year alone, we asked you the people to support 12 bills that were going through our legislature, all of which failed, by the way, in committee, which is one of the reasons I'm running for office. But we asked you to support bills to protect us from discrimination on vaccination status. We tried to run a constitutional amendment and support an amendment to secure our medical freedom. We asked that the legislature protect physicians from retribution. We asked that our representatives support a patients' rights bill to maintain our voter rolls, for paper ballots, to audit our elections, for ballot access, to prohibit state departments from lobbying on the taxpayer dime, to allow individuals to petition to recall their school board members. So look, you get the picture. And through this portal alone, through this advocacy portal, I'm very proud to tell you that Tennesseans across the state sent a total, through this website alone, sent a total of over 140,000 emails to over 100 state legislators here in the state of Tennessee to support these efforts. And even so, they all died in committee, which is incredible to me. You should ponder that for a moment. So here's what I'm telling you. If I am an illegal, unregistered lobbyist, so are you. If you have sent an email to any state representative and you're not and asked them to support a bill to defend your liberty and you have not registered as a lobbyist, according to this complaint put out, according to this phenomenal journalistic effort put out by the Tennessee Star. Thank you so much, Aaron Galbranson, for your incredible journalistic work under the direction of Michael Patrick Leahy to run this riveting article to make sure that every Tennessean knows, per the complaint filed with the Ethics Commission, that if you petition your government to protect your liberty and you are not a registered lobbyist, you are illegally lobbying. If you've made a phone call or sent an email, you are illegally lobbying. If you've come to the Capitol and rallied and asked your government to support liberty and to vote yes on a particular bill, and you're not a registered lobbyist, you are illegally lobbying. If you come to a committee hearing, if you've come to the Capitol and walked in the halls of the Senate or the House offices and you have sat down and met with committee members and asked them to support a bill to defend your liberty as a citizen of this state, and you do not have a permission slip from the state of Tennessee that allows you to do so, per the Tennessee Star and the complaint filed with the Ethics Commission from the Johnson campaign, you are an illegal lobbyist. You are lobbying illegally in the state of Tennessee. So this is the big story about Gary Humble today, that I am an unregistered illegal lobbyist. So look, I'm going to close this video by asking you to do this, a simple exercise. If you're in Williamson County and you're a voter, here's the question you need to be asking yourself. How is it that a 16-year incumbent does not have 16 years of accomplishments to run on? The only thing Jack Johnson can tell you is that he's a conservative. But what does that mean? And he uses the phrase low taxes a lot, even though in 2017 he voted to raise the gas tax, contrary to many conservatives in the state Senate at that time lobbying against raising the gas tax. Jack Johnson voted to increase the gas tax. But he runs on low taxes and the fact that he's a conservative, though we don't really know what that means. But instead of having 16 years of accomplishments to run on Williamson County, he spends his efforts smearing me, trying to call me an illegal lobbyist and anti-business and a grifter and a Democrat in disguise and all of the other things that have been coordinated through the efforts illegally of outside PACs to run smear campaigns against me. Why does a little guy like me, just a grassroots conservative activist with barely any money and resources, with no influence. I don't have endorsements from the governor and U.S. senators. Why is a little guy like me such a threat to a 16-year incumbent with all of the great things that he can tell you that he's done for you, the voter? You should be asking yourself that question. So here's the thing. I'll close with this. Williamson County, you have not had an option for state senator in 16 years. And after 16 years, you now have your very first option in the Republican primary to vote for someone else. And I'll tell you this, you might think, Gary, is it worth it? Is it worth the smear campaigns? Is it worth the deceptive tactics? Is it worth your reputation and name being dragged through the mud? Is it worth the threats to you and your family? Yes. What I'm telling you right now is it's worth it. And I've spent the last 2 years traveling the state from Memphis to Johnson City, Tennessee, telling you that it's worth it for you to do the same, for you to challenge the powers that be, to put power back in the hands of the people and to run for county commission and for school board and for county mayor and for the state house and for the state senate. And God help us for governor. I'm running, and I'm proud to run. And I'm proud of the accomplishments that we've had with Tennessee Stands over the last 2 years. I am proud to have the support that we have garnered. I am proud to have over 60 volunteers across the county right now knocking on doors and making phone calls and being at the polls on my behalf. I am proud of the campaign we are running. And I am proud that I am able to run simply by telling you who I am, what I've done, and what I intend to do as your next state senator. I promise you, you give me your vote and you send me to the state senate, I will defend liberty based on our Constitution, based on principle, and with a firm foundation, feet planted in the Word and faith in God, by whom I am answerable to, not to any man. I'm wholly unconcerned with these tactics and smear campaigns and the deceptive nature at which the Johnson campaign seeks to get a leg up to deceive you, the voter. In 16 years, you now have a choice in the Republican primary. And I'm asking for your vote on August 4th to represent Williamson County in the state senate of the wonderful state of Tennessee. God bless you.